Well, welcome to another edition of Wolverine Chat. I am your host, Tim Raymond, and today I have plenty to say, but I have nothing to say. After that victory, it was one of the greatest victories that I've ever been a part of. Um, whether I watched it on TV, whether I was there, all these Ohio State games I've been to, this whole week, everything that led up to it. Of course, what we're talking about without our coach being there, with the stupid, Burger Gate in the beginning of the year, and then we had to go through the cheating, and then Ohio State. I believe with all my heart were the ones that gave the Big Ten the evidence and pointed at them and said, "Look, these guys are cheating." Ryan Day all week going above. He said riding the high road. Yet he says that it's not allegedly it happened, and we know what happened the last couple of years. You do know what happened the last couple of years. I'll tell you what happened. Um, you got your butt whipped. Okay, you got butt whipped in 2021, in 2022, and basically in 2023. I mean, yes, it was a close game. They both teams played hard, but did you really down deep ever think Michigan was going to lose? Did it ever seem that they were losing control? Now, when they tied it up at 17-17, and that offense of Ohio State was running it down our throats. Okay, I posted it. I talked to my brother and sister. I wasn't happy. They were wearing Michigan out. What we needed after that was a long, sustained drive. Guess what happened? We got a long, sustained drive. And that was it. Yeah, they scored again. But Michigan basically, that early pickoff by who got the interception in the beginning of the game. Okay. Will Johnson, of course, picked that off, ran it back. And it took a few drives, a few hard hits, although I think on third down, Corum might have broken that line. It was close because you just couldn't tell on the TV replay on the screen, big screen. It showed that it was over, but that what might have been. I think that camera was from the 10-yard line. If you look down the line, it was close one way or the other. But we got on fourth down, made it clear. But I want to talk a little bit about Marvin Jr. there. Marvin Henderson Jr., probably one of the best receivers in college football, if not the best. Going to go high. Great receiver. But guys, watch some of these plays, and I'm telling you, I don't want to dog the kid. He's a good kid, nice kid, hard worker. But did he take off a couple plays? Or when that interception, watch him. As Johnson was running, he stopped 10 yards past, literally, or behind him, literally stopped. He did not go after him. And a couple other times, he just seemed to quit. So, is this part of the problem with Ohio State? I mean, are they soft? They played harder, but I still think they're soft. Just the culture is getting soft. They're making excuses. They made excuses about the cold, that they want to get this game inside. Woody Hayes would roll over in his grave and die. They literally thought it was too cold. All these excuses, on and on and on. It's not the same. Some of the Ohio State players are mad that they just don't hate Michigan more. Now, they've hated us more and we've hated them in the past. Now, when I talk about hate, I want to be careful. I'm a Christian. I love the Lord, and I don't like to hate people. When I say hate, I'm talking about a sports hate, if that makes sense, a team hate. It's okay to hate them. But what I'm saying is in the previous years, they wouldn't say Michigan. They'd X out everything. We hated them, but not like they hated us. And it showed on the field. This year, with all this crap going on and everything, the excuses, and Ryan Day crying after winning a few weeks back, and saying, it's it's I think it was against Notre Dame. Um, it's them versus everybody. I mean, where are you kidding? Are you serious? Ohio State versus everybody? Where have I heard that? Look, that is Michigan versus everybody, or you can even move it to Detroit. Detroit versus everybody. It's always been like that. Everybody's always hated the city of Detroit. I live in the Grand Rapids area. Even here, I talk about Detroit like, oh, Detroit. Why would you want to go to Detroit? What's Detroit got? I love Detroit. I love the Lions. I love everything about Detroit. I love West Michigan, but it's always been Michigan and Detroit versus everybody. When Ryan Day said that, it literally made me vomit because it's so ridiculous. Now, okay, let me give you these stats. Uh, last 3 years, 3-0. Of course, Michigan's got three. 39, uh, or excuse me, 235 average yards to 115 average yards, 61 yards, 6.1 yards per carry, 3.0, double. The average score 39-25, 14 points, almost into the three score range. This is the last 3 years. It's not been close. It's been all Michigan. And you can say this year was a little closer, but again, was it? Yeah, I mean, it was a different type of game. And you know what happened? The big guys, everybody needed to show up for this game to beat a good team like Ohio State did. Roman Wilson, JJ, Kostin Loveland, Blake Corum, when he broke loose at 22. Holy cow. I mean, Rob Moore on defense, Will Johnson on defense. So Kyle McCord, he played good. He played good, but you know what? He didn't play great. He didn't do what he needed to do. He had 2 interceptions. And this is the difference in the game. We outran them, and 22-0 in the last 20 years. The teams in the last 22 years, I believe since 2000, has the teams that outran the other team won the game. The other thing is turnovers. If you have a +2 turnover ratio, it's 7-0, and those are the two things that have happened. And you can't say yeah, but if or this, but they were there. No, they turned the ball over in 2 critical situations. In the beginning of the game, when nobody had the game won, gave us all the momentum, and obviously in the very end. So credit to Michigan for doing that. Roman Wilson, one of the, and JJ, what a pass! How do you fit it between those two defenders? You have about maybe 2 feet, and from what, I don't know if it's 30, 40 yards, split them right into his hands. Incredible. Was it a touchdown? Yes, it was a touchdown. When I first saw it, it was no doubt it was a touchdown. When I replayed it, it was close, but I still don't know how Joe Clapp says it wasn't a touchdown. I don't get his. I saw it when that ball crossed the line. He had the ball. Okay, it was a touchdown. So, and you know why it was a touchdown? Because the ref said it was a touchdown. So it doesn't even matter what I think or Joe Clapp thinks. It was a touchdown. That last play could have been a fumble. And when Ohio State was driving, that was close. I could have gone either way. I could have gone Michigan's way. It probably was a catch, a fumble, and a recovery. So things worked out the way they're supposed to. Marvin Harrison Jr., 5 receptions for 118 yards. Okay, well, that's not a bad day, but he only had 5 catches. Why? We won that battle. You go play when the Pistons played against Michael, let's try this again. Michael Jordan, when the Pistons played against Michael Jordan, not Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, you knew he was going to get at least 30 points. That's happening. So you don't want to give more. You don't want him to outdo his average. And I'm telling you, Michigan won the battle with Will Johnson until he got hurt, of course. Trevion Henderson, what do he have? 60 yards, 3.2. I always look at the average per carry because that's what's most important to me. Um, you know, um, it wasn't bad. It was like I said, it was a close game, but it was cold. I was out there with Trina, my girlfriend, fiance, and this poor woman who has become a huge Michigan fan, never played or watched football before this. Sure, she started watching it because her boyfriend is massively into it, but she joined right in and she went out there and her toes are frozen, but she stayed there and she's just I've got a good one. I talk about her every week, so I think I kind of in love with her. She's great. I don't know what else I want to say about this. I'm not going to make this a long show. Um, I, I want to talk about Zach Zinter's injury. When he went down, did you when you saw the players, their close-ups, their tears in their eyes, they all were just freaking out and they were just scared. And when it went from being scared, not knowing what to do, to unifying, they all got together and the crowd started chanting Zach. And I mean, it wasn't one section, it wasn't the whole entire 110,000 chanting his name. It brought tears to my eyes. And I'm not going to say it's the first time I teared up at a football game, but it was emotional. And this kid came back for this game. That's why he's not in the NFL now. So I hope and pray that this injury doesn't cost him anything. But he rose his hand. Did you see JJ consoling his parents on the sideline? Oh, how do you not just get choked up? Then the next play, they get together, they just do this, okay? And you can get excited, you can do this, but they weren't stopping. There's no way Blake wasn't scoring. He scored the touchdown, and I know they came back, but that's the end of the game. That I don't care anything else happened. That was the end of the game. They did it for Zach. It doesn't always happen that way. Someone gets hurt or dies sadly, and they're like, we're going to win it for this person. But it doesn't always go this way. This was scripted. This was Hollywood football, people. It couldn't get better, more emotional. Trust me. And I want to say one other thing. We were talking about the hate earlier. When I talk about the hate, I am talking about Ryan Day. I am talking about their creepy, disgusting fan base who has no idea about football. I'm talking about the media. Paul Feynman. I mean, are you serious? This guy, why is he on TV talking about football? What does he know? But I'm not talking about these kids that are playing, okay? Let me make it clear right now. These are 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that are pouring their heart into this and have the weight of the world on them. And when Zinter went down, I saw at least 2 or 3 of them with tears in their eyes, shaking Michigan's hand, hugging Michigan players. So let's remember that. A shout out I wish I knew who it was because I would love to give him his props, but let's remember that. These are still kids, okay? But the media, Coach, Day, I do not like Coach Day. I do not like Ryan Day. And I love him. I should say I love him. I think they should keep him there for another 20 years, right? He just, I hear a lot of people, in fact, I was just watching Big Ten Network and they were like, they think he coached fine. Why do you not go for it at the end of half? What's the difference? You're down by 1, down by 4? Go for it. You definitely go for it. But he didn't. A number of times, he just softs. He doesn't have the guts. Now, it's not always good to go for it, but I tell you what, every time Michigan, Sherrill Moore made the right decision every time. I don't want to talk about the Lions, but most of the times lately, Campbell does make good decisions, but he made some bad ones. He made some bad ones against Green Bay, but we're not going to talk about the Lions. They're still 8-3, so there we go. But you know what? You're telling me, and then they beat us without our coach. Without. Jim Harbaugh on the side. And I know he was there all week, but there's a reason Sherrone Moore, they have a separate player who coaches the games, the head coach on the field. And they have a separate guy who does offense, a separate guy who does defense, a separate guy who does offensive line. They need to do that. And for one guy to do offensive line, offensive play calls, and be the head coach, it does make a difference. So they couldn't even beat us with Jim Harbaugh on the sideline. And if we had lost that, this game was worth 3 victories. Because if we had lost, according to Ohio State fans in most of the country, 2021 didn't count, 2022 didn't count, and this year didn't, they would have won. So this was a 3 victory game. I am so happy they won. I don't need to be validated. I don't need any of that. But I mean, if you would have heard what some of the Ohio State fans were chanting and yelling, it's just typical. And I'm not saying our fans do much better, but Ohio State fans are just classless. I'm sorry. Not all of them. There's some good ones. I got some friends that are good ones, but let's at least talk about it. And that, when they say what they say, it just makes me sick. I like Tressel. Tressel is one of my favorite coaches. He was a class good guy, and I think he got in trouble over nothing. So I'm trying to. I think that's crap what the NCAA did to him. Any other things I can say? What's going to happen? Petiti, is he going to give Jimmy, the coach, the award? First of all, we got to win the game. I posted something like that. If he's going to put one of his cronies to give the award, and I got some pushback, like, slow down. We need to win the game, and you're right. We do need to win the game. That's why they play the game. But I'll tell you what, this isn't a trap game. Maryland was a trap game. Maryland, Michigan might have been looking just a little bit ahead, but they learned from that. They said that, and they know it. They're not looking ahead. They are not going to go this far to lose to a team who can't score more than 7 points. I will tell you, if Michigan scores 14 points, they win this game. Okay? There is no way Iowa is going to score more than 14 or 10. I'll give them 10. I picked the score to be, I think it's going to be 47-10. They've won easy the last couple years. Purdue was a little closer. So, but that's going to be about it. I'm going to try to have a pregame and a halftime and a post game, and then I'm going to have a big thing after the game. So look for 3 short videos during the championship game, after the championship game, and at halftime. And I really appreciate all your help. Please go on YouTube and please find friends to subscribe, check it out, see what you think, make comments, anything you can do. This is really important to me. I got some health issues, and I don't know. God could take care of me for the rest of my life. He'll take care of me, but I mean, I could be able to work as long as I need to. Something could happen in a year. I don't know, but I just know this is what I love. I love doing this. I love talking about your Michigan Wolverines. And I don't care if you went there, played there, or as they say, Walmart Wolverine. It doesn't matter. Like Michigan State and Ohio State people, everybody who likes them went there. No, there's a lot of people who like them didn't go to school, so that makes no difference. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I love you guys. Had a great Thanksgiving. Please appreciate everything that's good in your life, okay? And if you think you don't have anything good in life, look around. You've got something good in your life, okay? Whatever that is. Go do something good for somebody, as I always say. Just do something nice. Help somebody, okay? God bless you guys. God is good. Love you guys. Go blue. And we'll see you next week. We'll probably be there. I'm thinking about a 7:30. I'll probably do a quick shout out. I'll do a halftime, and then I'm going to do a post game. Might do something live even. We'll see. Okay? Take care and go blue.